Well, the White House keeps on pushing Bidenomics, but it's not resonating with most Americans, especially not with Latinos. A new poll from the Libre initiative finds that over 80% of Hispanic voters say inflation has negatively impacted their lives. And asked if things will get better, 42% say the economy will only get worse by Election Day. Here to react is Libre Initiative President Daniel Garza. Daniel, so great to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Rachel.
So these poll numbers are shocking. I mean, we've seen the trend, right, that Hispanics are the most dissatisfied with the Biden administration, but these numbers are really bad. What's standing out the most for you?
Well, that Bidenomics is really paralyzing many Latino families. 84% say that, as you mentioned there, say inflation had a negative impact in their lives. Rachel, millions of Latinos had to put a stop to certain purchases. They're now having to stretch their budgets and be much more judicious about buying decisions. But if you listen to President Biden, he is, of course, saying everything is rainbows, lollipops, and cotton candy. And Rachel, speaking of candy, I think Bidenomics could be more accurately be referred to as Willy Wonka economics. You know, come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Mm-hmm. And it's turning into a world where we're in danger of quickly becoming like Charlie, right? Where only once a year in his birthday does Charlie ever get to taste a bit of chocolate. Yeah,
it is. It's so tough on families. When I look at it, there's the economic component, but as the Democrat Party and Joe Biden and his policies get more and more radical, that's also alienating a lot of Hispanics from the Democrat Party. So talk to me about things like, you know, the gender ideology that's being pushed on children in school, you know, abortion, all these social issues that matter to very faith-based Hispanic communities.
Well, yeah, Rachel, you know this. Family is very important. And anybody who walks into the voting booth, they ask themselves one fundamental question. You know, if I vote for this person or that person, will my life or the life of my family be better off? And if left to their own devices, Biden would double down on more of the same. Spend more, slash energy development more, tax more, regulate more. It's delusional. And of course, you know, all these cultural issues that you're talking about, you know, nobody should be surprised that Latinos are running away, you know, from this kind of unfettered radical extremism that you're seeing from progressives and the indoctrination that is happening in the schools. Look, 71% of Americans or Latino Americans feel that we're on the wrong track here. There's pent-up discontent, real angst for the future. And so when you consider also the 80% of Latinos say that they're concerned that America is on the decline, that's a loss of hope. That's a loss of aspiration.
Yeah, you know, I think also about the crime rate that's gotten so bad. And for so many small business owners, and as you know, Hispanics are a big part of the small business community. That's another tax on them, that they have to worry about security and that they have employees that don't want to, you know, come work for them because they might get robbed and they're not allowed to defend themselves and all this kind of crazy stuff that's happening. Are you seeing the alarm bells going off for Democrats? Are they getting the same, you know, are they looking at these polls and going, we got to backtrack, or is it too late? They're on this path and they're doubling down.
They're doubling down. And, you know, the problem is that, of course, the more they double down, the more people feel the pain here. And folks who were building up, you know, for their savings for a down payment on a home, not have to even reconsider even the possibility of ever owning a home because the cost of borrowing has made a 30-year home loan too expensive. And this had everything to do with the feds being forced to jack up, you know, rates in response to the spike in inflation that was induced by the Biden spending bender. But it's us, you know, who have to deal with the economic hangover.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Hispanics are being hurt. The working class are being hurt. And it's interesting to see that they're doubling down. Texas made a lot of gains in the last election, and things weren't even as bad as they are now economically, and even with the border really just wide open and causing so much chaos in your home state. Just one last word on the border, quick.
Yeah, I would say that why not California? Why not Arizona? You know, when you're talking about, you know, migrants remaining in Texas, you know, this new proposal by Biden, is it because they have Democrat governors? It just seems punitive that you want to bring down punishment on those, you know, really who had disproportionately been sharing a lot of the burden when it came to migrants. And now, of course, you want to shift all the pain into one concentrated red state. Just unbelievable. What is happening.
Well, the blue states are feeling the pain now, and now Joe Biden's hearing from them. Daniel Garza, great to hear you. Great insight into what's happening with the Latino vote.
Always a pleasure, Rachel. Thank you.
You got it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.